It is a late Saturday afternoon, August 24th, 2024. Thanks for joining me today. As always, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Just pondering a little bit today. A few things I want to talk about. Feel free to comment down below. Thanks for all the comments, positive or negative. Thank you again for all the comments. No doubt the best comment section on YouTube. Let's continue to wake people up. Make sure to share these videos everywhere. You know, I was watching Sachs Realty today with Todd Sachs and John Rubini. Very interesting show. If you get a couple minutes, check it out this evening. And John Rubini made a really good point. He said, you know, if a nuclear war starts, if nuclear missiles start, you know, flying all over the place, we've got some serious problems. And the problems that we have right now basically won't be problems because we're going to have much bigger problems to be dealing with. And nobody's going to care about home prices. Nobody will probably care about gold prices, silver prices, insurance costs, property insurance, auto insurance. Nobody's going to care about that stuff. You know, we're getting so close to something being set off. We've never been so close to a world war as we are right now. And, you know, when you think about that, the main thing you better have prepared is where you're going to go after you leave this earth. Know where you're going. Get your house in order, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's probably the most important thing above all else is know where you're going after this. Make sure your house is in order. Make sure you have things settled with God. But going back to the show, Sachs Realty, love Todd Sachs' show. Interviews some great people, smart guy, real estate broker. John Rubini was talking about the housing market, and you know, every day we're inundated with these news articles and the economists and the realtors telling us that, you know, this is just an incredible market, you should be buying right now. He's saying that it's a frozen market. There's no doubt it's a very frozen market, but he says that this housing market will see panic selling, which will produce spectacular losses and spectacular deals at the same time. And I really do believe that's true. And that's what we saw back in '08, except I think this one is going to be much more extreme. But he bases it on a few things: retiring baby boomers, Airbnb entrepreneurs who just cannot make money. They're losing money. They're going to have to sell. Private equity, Wall Street, everybody that bought in the last couple of years, they're all going to be running to the exits. And this is going to contribute to the big losses, especially when everybody is running to the exits. So I bring this up because there was an article on CNBC yesterday titled "Barbara Cochran Says to Forget About Interest Rates, Get Out There and Buy a Home." See, this is the problem. When you have these celebrity type people, you know, I believe she was on Shark Tank, going out there and telling you to go buy a house. It says here, Barbara wants home buyers to stop thinking so much about mortgage rates and enter the housing market. So don't think about it. Don't think for yourselves. Just go do it. I mean, that is, to me, terrible advice. What do you think about this? She thinks potential homebuyers are wasting time waiting for interest rates to come down. If you would take my advice, I would say get out there. You need one more point to bring everybody out into the market. And what's going to happen is you're going to pay more for the house. I don't really believe that's true. I believe now that the economy is getting so bad that unemployment is rising, job losses are rising, people's debt is rising, they're not going to be able to qualify. Do you really believe that if we get rates down to 5.5%, mortgage rates to 5.5%, well, I just don't believe that everybody's going to run and go buy a house. Because see, you got to have a job. You got to have enough income. The debt ratios are so out of whack that people just cannot go out and afford to buy the average home in America at this point. But Barbara Cochran, I'm sure she's a nice lady, but she's heavily invested in real estate, I would assume. And she's trying to pump this bubble up even more. So what do you think about this? Do you believe more on the John Rubini side that this is a frozen market? We're going to begin to see panic selling here at some point? Or is Barbara Cochran right? You shouldn't think about mortgage rates. You should just enter the housing market. I mean, that's like driving down the road blindfolded. This makes no sense to me whatsoever. But again, if you watch the television, you watch these real estate agents, the economists, all these home networks where everybody's buying a house, fixing it up, flipping, everything's just fine. But we have a frozen housing market for a reason. We're looking at a comparable rate of sales as what we saw during the financial crisis of 2008. This is a horrible housing market right now, but there's people like this who want you to go out there, not think for yourself, blindfold yourself, and just rush into something. I believe that patience is a virtue. I believe right now with everything that's happening politically, the talk of war, the economic uncertainty, the volatility in the stock market, the rising gold price. I think the best thing to do right now is just, if you can, sit on the sidelines and wait this out as long as you can before you make the biggest investment of your life. This is a very, very tricky economy, ladies and gentlemen. Americans now need $2.5 million to be considered wealthy. Charles Schwab survey. The survey is 14% higher than it was in 2022. 90+% of Americans are never going to be able to retire. How many people do you know have $2.5 million in retirement? Very, very few people in this country. It's a very small percentage. I was talking to a guy a couple days ago over at the pool here from Orange County, from Mission Viejo, an area where I used to live many, many years ago. And we were just talking. He just, he said, flat out, he goes, I think America is done. I don't think we can repair the damage. And a lot of people in the comments have said the same thing. And you may be right. He may be right. But he said, just take a look at people. Look at the physical condition of people. Look at the mental condition of people. Somebody I've never even met before. This guy's just hanging out in the pool. He's having a cocktail and just talking to me freely. Take a look at the physical and mental condition of the average American. That should tell you all you need to know right there. And how do you argue with that? The average American, is addicted to sports. They're addicted to their Netflix. They believe everything is okay, but yet they don't have $2.5 million in retirement. In fact, most of them don't even have $400, and yet they believe everything is okay. And when you think about that, when you do look at the mental and physical condition, how many people are dependent on pharmaceuticals in this country to live day to day? How many people have crazy anxiety that cannot function without medication? You look at the obesity in this country, the disease it's causing, and how many people are dependent on the medical system in order to survive day to day. Yeah, we might be in very, very big trouble. We would need a miracle, I think, at this point for things to turn around in order to salvage this country. Target CEO says retailers can't price gouge in competitive industry. Politicians, and by the way, this is on the hedge, politicians don't want to take the blame. The Fed doesn't want to take the blame for causing the inflation. What's causing the inflation? I think, in my humble opinion, I'm not an economist, let me know your thoughts. My humble opinion is it's all this outrageous spending. The trillions of dollars. I think the Iraqi war and Afghanistan, if memory serves me correct, we spent $12 trillion in Afghanistan, in Iraq. Did you get anything from this? Was this worth $12 trillion? Again, politicians don't want to take responsibility for all this out of control spending. They want to blame it on the retailers. Is there some price gouging going on here and there? Yeah, I would imagine. But the majority of this has been caused by the Fed and by the government overspending, keeping rates too low for too long, printing way too much money. This is the cause of inflation. Not Target, not Walmart. It is politicians. It is the Fed. They've caused it. And now we believe that the politicians and the Fed who caused all this, the same people are going to be able to fix it. Think about that. Wouldn't common sense tell you that the politicians and the Fed who created this disaster are not going to be able to repair the damage. They have no idea what they're doing. All they know is how to spend money, how to keep putting a Band-Aid on this wound, kick the can down the road a little further, a little further. What happens when there's no more road to kick the can down? What is going to happen? And a lot of people just can't wrap their head around that. They just can't or won't think about that. But the road is coming to an end. We're going to come to a dead end at some point, and we're going to have to deal with reality. And I hope everybody out there is preparing to deal with reality, because it's going to be very, very ugly, ladies and gentlemen. Another one from the hedge. New York to pay $155 per megawatt hour for wind power rate. $36 per megawatt is the current rate. Is this not price gouging? New York is going to go from $155 per megawatt hour for wind power, whereas the current rate is $36 per megawatt hour. Does this make any sense to you? Isn't this a bit inflationary? Again, you can thank your politicians for this. This is the price gouging that the politicians are doing. And I'm sure that they're making a lot of money for this, as your tax dollars pay for this, and then you pay higher utility costs. InsideSources.com, Pennsylvania grid operator pays 700% more to buy power, warns price hikes will follow. PJM Interconnection is one of America's largest electricity transmission operators. They coordinate the movement of electricity across 13 states here in America. Prices, they say, are only going to go up 10 to 20% for its customers. So it's not going to be really rapid. That's the good news. It's just going to go up 10 or 20%, not 50 or 100%, even though they're having to pay 700% more. So they're going to just jack up your prices a little bit at a time, 10% here, 20% there, and it will just continue to go up year over year, gradually. Again, is this more price gouging? This just makes no sense to me whatsoever. And how long can the average American or the majority of this country continue to do this when they don't even have $400 saved up? Shifting gears here a little bit, another one from the hedge. San Francisco man robbed thousands of dollars of equipment from FBI truck, traded it for $20 in meth. Let's see what he took out of the truck. Flash grenades, tear gas launcher, surveillance equipment, bulletproof vests. San Francisco is no doubt a wasteland. This is incredible that this amount of gear was just stolen out of a federally employed a group of people, employees, whatever you want to call it, an alphabet company, that this truck just got broken into and thousands of dollars of gear just taken and traded for drugs. I guess nobody is safe in San Francisco, not even the FBI at this point. So it's very, very scary. You know, I'm losing faith in you know, more of these agencies, more and more. I mean, it's just incredible, isn't it? Just incredible. The people that we used to trust to protect us can't even protect themselves at this point. I mean, these groups can't even protect the president or former president of the United States of America. It's just really unbelievable. Again, our tax dollars at work, are we really getting what we're paying for? I definitely say we are not. Newest U.S. aid package for Ukraine includes more HIMARS munitions to attack Russia. So $125 million in munitions. Yet we're going after the retailers. We're going after Target and Walmart for price gouging. Where's the, I mean, this $125 million today is literally just a drop in the swimming pool. But it's 100 million here, 500 million there, 10, 20 billion there, and it starts adding up into trillions of dollars. But we're spending money so out of control, and yet our politicians want to blame the retailers. They're going to blame your company. They're going to blame the farmers, your grocery store, yet another $125 million in munitions. And I'm not going to sit here and get political. It doesn't matter if you're right, left, in the middle. Where is the money coming from? Could this money be more useful here? Could it be more useful taking care of homeless people, people who are food insecure, people who are losing businesses, people who want to start businesses, are ailing infrastructure, are decaying cities? Maybe the money would be more useful here. I don't know. I mean, let me know your thoughts on that. Daily Mail, Germany Terror attack. Police arrest second suspect after raiding refugee shelter in Solingen as ISIS claims responsibility for knife man rampage, which killed 3 people. I think he injured around 10 people. 3 lives were lost at a diversity festival Friday. Again, multiple people injured and 3 lost their lives. Be very, very careful out there, ladies and gentlemen. Things are getting so dangerous. We have a lot of these same individuals now right here roaming the streets of America. I would be very cautious going to a musical festival or a concert, a sporting event. I would be very, very cautious because I think that we're going to see major retaliation here in America for what's happening in the Middle East. And I think it's only a matter of time, not a matter of if, but a matter of when. So I'd be very, very cautious. You know, it's amazing. I know people who have young kids who, you know, they pay the money for their kids to go to these festivals, and I think that you're really doing an injustice to your kids, allowing them to go to these events now, because these are going to be the type of places that will be targeted. Be very, very careful. It's going to get much, much worse. So, you know, on top of all the crime that we have here, the economy is collapsing, society's collapsing, and now, you know, the alphabet agencies have been warning us for months and months and months that we're going to have some very, very bad events take place here in America, because they've already told us there's some very, very bad people who are here, and they're going to do something at some point. So on top of the major crime, the social division, the unrest that we're going to see erupt, I think we're going to see things definitely erupt after the election. And as things escalate over in the Middle East, and you know, as we send more munitions and equipment and supplies to Israel, you can bet that there will be retaliation here. We are seeing major cyber attacks daily here in America. It's only a matter of time before we begin to see other things happening right here, physical events happening right here on the streets of America. So be very, very careful. Make sure that you continue all your preps, adding to all your skill sets, all your training. Make sure that you're getting in the best shape of your life. Make sure, most of all, that you have the skills to protect yourselves. That is so important. It is absolutely incredible what we are watching take place. What's happening politically in this country is unlike anything we've ever seen before. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how this all plays out, and what, depending on who is elected, what the ramifications will be from the election. On whatever candidate is elected, there will be ramifications either way. So be prepared for that. If you think that one person's going to be elected, they're going to fix all of our problems and everything's going to go away and be fine, you are drinking the Kool-Aid. We are definitely now past a point of no return. The question is, how bad do things get? Can we salvage this thing, or has the ship already hit the bottom of the ocean? I don't know. I really, really don't know. I'm going to continue to say my prayers and pray for this country and hope for a miracle. Comment down below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a great weekend. Most of all, have a safe weekend and be preparing. God bless. Talk to all of you very soon.